We'd like to welcome all of you here to the city of Bacolod para sa laban ng Ceres Negros at ng Ilocos United. Anthony Starr here together with Ryan Phoenix, and it's another home game para sa Ceres Negros.
And it's a virtual David versus Goliath. Sa araw na ito, of course, Ceres will be the overwhelming favorites in this game, playing at home and with their star-studded lineup versus Ilocos United, the new team in the PFL. And they have been ravaged with injuries to Ilocos United.
Well, ang problema nga, we had that pre-game show. Actually, not just a pre-game, but actually the pre-tournament show months back. And, when we looked at this Ilocos squad, they look like a decent squad to begin with. But sabi mo nga, ravaged with injuries, that's something that in a long season, you really will have to deal with.
Well, this no more evident than the 3 subs on their bench. Itong Ilocos United, of course, with a lot of injuries and suspensions. But make no mistake, they're here to compete and play against this Ceres side.
Pero obviously, sinasabi ng mga tao, especially the odds makers, they're saying they're not really giving them a ghost of a chance. But sabi nga nila, bilog ang bola, tignan natin kung anong pwede mangyari. But we are going to have our kickoff in just a few minutes. Yan pong ating mga opisyal. Ariel Montaña is our referee, assisted by Relly Balila. We've got Levi Sabella. And our 4th referee is Stephen Beria.
Well, one thing going for Ilocos United is the absence of Roland Muller. He was given a red card in their last game, at ang kanyang kapalit na si Louis Michael Casas will be in goal for Ceres.
Well, obviously, when you talk about Louis Michael Casas, he's been there, he's done that. He was actually the starting keeper naman para sa kanyang koponan, sa koponan ng Ceres for the longest time before they were able to get the Ascal na si Ronald Muller. Pero hindi naman talaga sila nagkakalayo kung tutusin mo, because people will say yes in terms of international exposure and stuff, but at the same time, medyo may international experience din playing for the national team itong si Casas.
Definitely, and Casas is by no means any pushover. It's just that pagka ikaw Ilocos United fan, you look for any positives, any sense that you can look any weaknesses. But look at that Ceres lineup: Shrock, Stoible, Christians, Ramsey, OJ Portera, and Benvenido Marañon, and it's very difficult to look for any weaknesses there.
Exactly. As we take a look at the other side, of course, you do have a few big names there, but wala nga si Anton Del Rosario. It's Dominic Del Rosario there, together with Baba Sampana at goal. Of course, at least you've got a solid keeper as far as Sampana is concerned. Pero syempre, a lot of question marks sometimes dun sa kanyang back four.
Well, Graham Kay will be leading the line for Ilocos United, and this is a confirmation. Ilocos United bottom of the table with 2 points and no wins to their name. Ceres Negros in 5th place, but they still have some games to play to catch up with the league leaders.
Shrock is there, getting ready to start things off here. Kasama niya si Rodriguez, waiting for the go signal, and the whistle is there. Galing kay Ariel Montaña, and we are underway here sa Ceres Negros.
Ilocos United traveled 15 hours to reach Panaad's Park and Stadium in Bacolod.
Boy, that's a long travel, because obviously, papunta pala sa Manila, medyo hirap na sila. Yun pa lang, pagkatapos nun, lilipad pa po sila dito sa Bacolod, specifically sa Panaad Stadium.
You factor in the waiting times as well in the airports and in the bus terminals. Pero sabi nga nila, we didn't travel 15 hours just to make up the numbers.
Sometimes people will say easier said than done. Alam mo, syempre, you'd like to be able to exude as much confidence as you possibly can show, but at the end of the day, especially sa tingin ko pagdating sa second half, sometimes that fatigue factor just might show.
The Ceres Negros coming off a loss to Global Cebu in the midweek. And so they did a fair bit of traveling as well. Not as long as Ilocos, pero nagbiyahe rin sila back to their home field in Panaad.
Yun naman ang kagandahan, Alam mo, not much land travel. It's actually, short trip to the airport, pagkatapos lipad ka, and then actually not also a very long trip from Cebu dito sa Bacolod. Look at the imposing figure there of Cahill.
John Kanayama back in action from suspension last week. Ceres keen to make amends. Talo sila 1-0 kontra sa Global Cebu in a very hotly contested game.
That was really one of the games to look out for. Kung may kalendaryo ka at naghahanap ka ng mga laro na gusto mong panoorin, eh, talagang yun! Ilalagay mo. Sampana is not happy there. They were able to take a nice spot shot at him. You know what? 7 out of 10 times, you give OJ Porteria that kind of a shot, he'll score a goal.
Swerte lang ang Ilocos because that fell under the 3 out of 10 category.
Tama, yun.
Sinasabi mo. But back to Global and Ceres, that was a very hotly contested match. 2 red cards in that game, both teams down to 10 men. And Roland Muller was sent off. Kanya ito nga si Louis Michael Casas in goal for Ceres.
Tanong ko lang sa iyo, were you surprised that it was really a hotly contested affair? Once again here, nakikita natin yung atake na naman na ginagawa ng Ceres. They want to be able to score early and give their hometown fans something to cheer about. Even in the first 5 minutes.
To answer your question, Kamang Anthony, it was actually a record crowd that we saw in Cebu. 5,000 plus fans packing the stadium.
And there is that 3 out of 10.
Just leaning back si OJ Porteria, not keeping the ball down enough.
So far, Sampana has not yet been challenged. Let's see what happens here. Pipito na kaagad si referee Ariel. At that infraction at yung bola na dyan kay Baba.
Just last tidbit in that Global and Ceres match was that a lot of players not too happy with the condition of the field in Cebu. But now Ceres back in home turf where I would suppose there can be no complaints.
Well, again, in fairness naman to Cebu, syempre itong Panaad field has really been one of the sacred pitches that we have here as far as Philippine football is concerned. So talagang medyo matagal na talagang naalagaan itong pitch na to. As you take a look at Aligo and the rest of his staff. Siya ngayon eh, hindi na po coach eh, pero siya na yung ano siya?
Technical Director
of Football Operations. Parang ano, kung ihahambing mo doon sa nangyayari sa NBA, no? Oh, you saw Michael Casas slipping there after he was trying to issue out that pass.
Well, it's over.
Baka may mga reklamo din yung mga player ngayon sa pitch, ah.
Well, I mean, bulk of the complaints came from Ceres in the game against Global, especially on pitch conditions. And I mean, maybe nasanay siguro sila sa Panaad and the way it is being maintained. Tony Lazaro and Ian Gillen for Ilocos United, pati nga yung kanilang coaching brain trust, mukhang undermanned din sila if you compare it to the Ceres.
Yeah, that's for sure. But at the same time, sometimes, you know, hindi mo naman maiwasan. Siguro sometimes they don't anymore bring the full complement of the staff whenever they travel. Mas lalo na kung medyo mahaba-haba nga yung kanilang travel. Siguro yung mga iba ay nagsa-scout na. Kasi mga ibang mga darating na ng mga matches, hindi naman sila kailangan pagurin na lumipad at pumunta rito sa Ceres. When you talk about Ceres, they are at home. And they are trying to give their fans something to cheer about. Ibanda's able to stop that cross, but his teammate, itong si Uzoka, not able to save it from going out. It's going to be another corner, the second corner para sa Ceres.
Overcast skies in Bacolod at may konting ambon. So you can be sure it's a wet field out there.
Nice curling ball. But the defense gets to it. Sinasabi nga naman eksperto eh. Sabi lang, hindi naman namin sinasabing hindi makakascore itong Ceres. Ang tanong lang kung kailan sila makakakuha ng unang lang goal.
Well, let's see if the experts are proven correct.
You can see they're slipping on that pitch. Even yung mga players ng Ceres, nahihirapan nga rito sa kondisyon. You think it'll take them a few more minutes to get adjusted?
Looks like it. Because medyo mabilis like that one. Mabilis yung gulong ng bola and Ian Ramsey unable to get to the ball. So kailangan mong timplahin. Pag bigay ka ng pasa, have to make sure that it's the right strength para makuha ng iyong kakampi.
That's headed forward. Ang problema, wala naman silang kakampi dun. Just Cahill there up all by his lonesome. Kita mo pati yung takbo ni Sampana eh. Medyo nakikita mo talagang, you know, he's walking on that pitch quite carefully.
As we took a look at the Ultras Ceres, of course giving a lot of atmosphere in this stadium.
Nice move up front. But again, the defense was there for Ebande and company. Uzoka sends it to the middle. One of the few times they've really had quite a long hold for possession. Trying to find Cahill. Cahill gets to it. The cross. Not going to be enough. At ilalabas na lang muna yung bola para maka-regroup ang depensa.
Nakita mo, safety first for the defender. Super Herrera for Ceres.
Casas with a stop. That's a great attempt. Quick turn.
Ooh, he has to be careful there.
You cannot lose possession at this part of the pitch. That's a great tackle. Well, he had to come up with a stop. Siya yung may kasalanan dun. Of maybe not really his doing, kung tutusin mo.
But that was a quick snapshot from Cahill that really tested Michael Casas.
Yeah, that had a lot of power.
At kung medyo kumanang ng konti yung tira na yun, could have been a goal. O kumaliwa, could have been a goal for Ilocos United. So again, you look at the standings, you look at the team history of these two squads. When it's game time, you throw everything out of the window.
Tama. Sabi nga natin kanina, bago tayo nag-umpisa sa ating unang whistle bilog ang bola. Marami pang pwede mangyari. At itong Ilocos, as you said also, they didn't travel all the way here not to give up their very best.
Ito Ceres has to be wary of falling into the trap of overconfidence. Especially in these conditions na hindi mo minsan mabasa ang gulong ng bola.
Tsaka parang hindi lang yung gulong ng bola pero pati yung foothold mo sa pitch.
So, because of that, medyo nag-aalanganin ka minsan tumakbo or give it 100% when you run, when you kick. And that moment of hesitation could be a chance for the other team to take advantage.
Trying to move forward now. Again with a lot of purpose. Not a good shot, pero nakita mo talagang nahihirapan sila to be able to get a proper foothold of that pitch. Well-timed tackle as Uzoka went down. Babawi sana yung Uzoka. Nahuli naman siya.
That was a delayed reaction.
It'll be nice to see that again. Obviously, Christian's not happy. It was definitely a late challenge, but it's still early in this match. And Uzoka continues to talk to Christian's. Christian's galit na galit. The question is, will he escape sanction? There was that late challenge. And he made contact. And then, as you said, the ultra late reaction.
Well, he took a look at the referee just to make sure that the referee saw him. And then he fell down.
Wouldn't you be better served? I'm just asking. But, you know, you get hit in the head, you look at the referee and he sees you, and then you go up to the referee to say, did you see he hit me?
Rather than
just go down like you got hit by a rabbit punch. And here comes Ceres. Nice give and go! And we got our first goal of the match.
well, that bit of altercation just ignited the fire in Ceres. And a quick 1-2 has resulted in the first goal of this game.
Shraki finding the back of the net. And it is now 1-0 para sa hosts. Look at that perfect pass. No question he was onside. And he definitely knows what to do in that situation.
Well, two things there, friends. Number one, OJ Porteria knew exactly where Stefan Schrock was going. And number two, Stefan Schrock knew exactly where OJ Porteria was going to put the ball to. And that combination, my friends, means it's 1-0 for Ceres. Minsan yan ang mga pinag-aaralan on the training ground. It's those little things. You know, OJ Porteria and Stefan Schrock have not played together for the longest of times. I mean, I think they've played only together this year. Because of course, OJ Porteria coming from Kaya. But nakita mo yung understanding nila. It's almost second nature, I guess, for footballers just to spot your teammates' run.
And you know, a lot of people were actually questioning his form. Because sinasabi nga nila na talagang he has not really been able to play for quite a while. But he's in excellent form here. That chip. Nice work there from Baba. Well, obviously you can see there, Ott there with a good attempt. I'm a little bit surprised that you don't see Christians wasn't given at least a warning. And his head did make contact with the face of Uzoka. And that normally, almost always, will warrant a yellow.
Well, notwithstanding the fact that Uzoka made too much or a meal out of it, Christian still made contact, as you said.
And then, can you get a card for simulation because you got tapped in the face?
You can. You can.
And you went down like a sack of potatoes?
You can. That is simulation.
Right? I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, you know, in the true sense of the word. Curling ball, Casas handles it.
Casas has been doing a good job so far. First 14 minutes.
Look at that ball possession.
I can't say I'm surprised because, of course, Ceres playing at home and obviously having the more talented squad between the two teams. They'd have more share of the possession. But then again, it's what you do with the ball that counts.
At yun na nga, ito na naman. May bola na naman ang hosts. Ceres tries to send it to the middle, but one of the few times that ball not able to find a friendly face.
And not on the same page. OJ Porteria not making and not continuing his run. But I like what Ceres is doing. They're biding their time. They know that they're the more superior squad. And they're being very patient. Ito nga, lamang sila ng isa. But you can be sure they're out for more.
That's a great slide. Banda just sends it high into the air. If you're just joining us, it is 1-0 para sa Ceres Negros. Stoible and company looking good here in the early stages. Pinaka-importante, I guess, dito, Ryan, is, you know, Ilocos, even if they've already yielded a goal, they've got to just make it a point to hold as firm as they possibly can, and anything can still happen, really. But, you know, once the floodgates open, it becomes 2-3, 4-0, and then all of a sudden you start to doubt yourself and say, what can we play for here for the rest of the half? For the rest of the match, in fact.
But Ilocos has shown some good signs. Yung tira ni Cahill na yun, straight at Casas.
Oh yes, definitely.
And important for them to keep the faith. Of course, that is easier said than done when the yellow army of Ceres just keeps on coming at you.
Not a good pass, and here comes Ceres once again. Pero tama sabi mo, talaga hindi naman sila nagmamadali. They know they're in total control of this match. And I guess they feel it's just a matter of time that they're going to be able to score even more goals.
Patience is a virtue.
How many times have we seen that? You know, nakikita natin na supposedly on paper overmatched yung isang team, pero minsan umabot sa second half, eh, nil-nil pa rin yung scoreline dahil sobra naman nagigigil yung kabila. Here they come once again. Another attack para sa Ceres. That one, diretso kay Sampana. You can see how gingerly he's walking on that pitch. Ang problema, this is the rainy season. So, talagang wala na talaga tayong magagawa. Except for, I guess, maybe if you have an artificial pitch similar to what Meralco has.
In Rizal Memorial, but that is no guarantee because the last time out, eh, medyo nabaha rin ng bahagya ang ating artificial turf. Because those are the perils of playing football in a tropical country.
There's an opportunity here. Look at that speed. Casas able to just get a foot on that.
Ito sinasabi natin, Ceres cannot afford to be overconfident. At napakataas ng line nila, Ceres Negros. You see a lot of space behind the back four.
That's a good ball up front. Quick cross. Ebanda's not really able to get to it. The chip, diretso kay Sampana.
Was trying to get and take advantage of the keeper.
They got to be really careful passing back. As you can see, Casas, that ball got away, but wala naman siya ibang kalaban dun, so it didn't really turn out to trouble him.
That last move by Casas. Sometimes you ask why keepers have to have good ball control as well. Well, modern keepers now, they don't just stop shots. Sometimes they also serve as the first playmaker.
Tama yun. And a lot of time when they come out of that box, obviously you cannot handle that ball, so you have to be able to know exactly what you can still do with your feet.
Because you've had a chance to talk to Neil Etheridge, yung ating goalkeeper ng Asgals, the #1 goalkeeper, and he was saying that in the modern goalkeeping era, it's not enough that you stop shots, you're a good shot stopper, your distribution has to be good, and your ball control has to be spot on as well.
You know, the game has really changed. You know, it has evolved from the days that we used to watch it on television.
You're referring to your days? Because certainly not my days.
Okay, you talk for the next 10 minutes. I remember during those days, the keepers can actually hold on to the ball as long as they wanted to. And the defender could pass it back to the keeper as often as they wanted to as well. Here comes Ceres, curling ball. Boy, a great stop there from Sampana, just with one hand.
Ian Ramsey with his left foot on the right side. Yan tinatawag nating inverted winger.
And watch it again.
Just eluding the defender. And that was goal bound. Sampana just getting a hand to it. But what about that pass from Shockey?
Ang ganda nga ng pasa ni Shockey, and you could see Ramsey knew exactly what he needed to do.
He's curling the ball to the far post.
Easily could have been goal number 2. That's the value of somebody like Shockey. The flag is up though. The fans going nuts, and then they realize the flag is up.
Let down for the Ceres Negros fans.
It will be nice to see it again. Here we go, Ryan.
Super Herrera was totally unmarked, but was he onside? Yan ang tanong.
Hard to see there from that angle.
Super Herrera, the defender for Ceres Negros, with a good strike. And that leads to my next point, that not necessarily you're a defender, you should not learn how to strike the ball.
That's another innovation that has been happening really Dati yung mga defenders hindi pwedeng umakyat eh. Pag umakyat, napapagalitan ng coaching staff eh. Now they come up with the overlap. They lead the attack. And they're doing just about everything. Here comes Ceres. The pass, diretso kay Uzoka. Looking for the counter. Can they generate something? Ito pa rin. Nasa kanila pa rin yung bola. Nice turn! Pero kita mo, ang bilis ng pagbaba ng mga nakadilaw. And suddenly, that just prompts the visitors to look for another mode of attack. Such as that long ball. Well, halfway gone through our first half. It's had its share of excitements. But at the end of the day, nakita natin itong Ceres, happy that they've got a 1-0 advantage.
Almost 2, but Herrera's strike was ruled offside. Pag-usapan naman natin ang Ilocos United. Ilocos United missing a lot of players. Paulo Pavone is injured, rather suspended. And I'm sorry, Paulo Pavone is injured and Chima Uzoka is suspended. 2 of the regular starting 11 players for Ilocos.
Nice chip. And Sampana there at the right time comes out to stop that.
But did you see the quality of the pass? Almost at the pass, hindi na kailangan mag-dribble pa si Jim Munoz.
There's an opportunity here. Well, they were hoping that will get a crazy bounce, but sabi ni Casas, dito ako lumaki. Matagal na ako naglalaro dito, no? I know all the crazy bounces on this pitch.
My middle name is Crazy Bounce.
Yeah. As you said, ang gaganda ng mga pasa na pinapakita nga ng Ceres dito. Trying to work here on the right side of the pitch. Just so hard to get a foothold. That's a good tackle.
But you see the strength of Ian Ramsey. Talagang hindi siya nauhulog even with the pulling na binibigay sa kanya.
The cross, and Sampana's in trouble. The defense caught napping there as Christians comes up with goal number 2.
Look at that reverse pass from Stefan Schrock. Just finding Jeffrey Christians. And Jeffrey Christians with the perfect answer to this stubborn Ilocos side. 2-0. With that goal, Christians, kailangan lang niyang i-guide yung bola past the goalkeeper.
Well, Sampana did all he possibly could there. He made himself big, he cut down the angle, he guarded the near post, but still, just too much quality here for Christians.
Totally agreed. You were mentioning about the floodgates. It's not exactly a lot of goals yet, but important for Ilocos to keep their heads high and still fight. Because if not, the consequences will be dire.
It's still pretty competitive here at this stage. 25 minutes gone. 26 if you want to be specific. That's another good ball. Onside.
Stoible just making that secondary run into the box. Nabasa ng defender what Stoible was trying to do, but only as good as another Ceres Negros corner.
Might be a long day for these gentlemen. they're hoping not. Because at this stage, they're still being quite competitive.
Well, a goal could change everything.
For either side here at this stage, Ryan, if it becomes 3-0, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it will be highly improbable. On the other side, pag nakascore naman ng Ilocos, it's game on.
Suddenly, belief back in their veins ng Ilocos United if they do score. But from the first 27 minutes of this game, it's the possession arrow towards Ceres as well. Ilocos have to find ways, and that will not be one of them.
Well, Ebanda there's complaining about a little push.
Willie Ebanda, the off-season signing from Green Archers United. And to be fair, they've had a few signings, good signings from Ilocos United with Baba Sampana as well. Experienced goalkeeper.
Nice curling ball, but it's handled there.
But you get the feeling that Ceres, they could play a notch higher if they wanted to. You just get that feeling that maybe nagko-conserve sila ng bagya. I know it's a bit disrespectful to Ilocos United to say that, but you look at Ceres and 2-0 up and there's really no sense of urgency trying to score more.
Could that be? I understand your point and I'm in total agreement, but then could it also be looking at it that they're just trying to manage the pitch dahil nakikita na parang hindi naman talaga sila hindi na nagagawa yung gusto nilang gawin dahil dito sa kondisyon ng pitch, and so right now they're also tempering their expectations.
Excellent point. As you can see, OJ Porteria, when he stepped on the pitch and tried to accelerate, a piece of mud flew off.
And so at this stage, I guess they said, you know, let's see what the pitch can give us at this particular point in time. But right now, obviously, not really needing to push as hard because they do have the 2-0 advantage.
Exactly.
That's another great ball. And a good poke.
But Ceres in second gear.
Doing the chores here, you see there, Baba Sampana. Tinatawag yung kanyang depensa. But he knows if they let in another goal at this early stage of the match, it just could be game over. They reset. Everybody thought that was going out. Uh-oh. And they're in trouble.
Defense switching off, and Rodriguez with the third Ceres goal. A defense switched off, and as you said, kanina akala nila outside na yung bola, but Ceres regrouped.
Well, it looked like it was going outside, pero first to be able to react, itong Ceres, and it leads to this.
And look at the number of orange shirts just falling asleep and leaving Rodriguez totally unmarked. Rodriguez is a potent striker, and you leave him unmarked like that, will be game over any time of the day.
It is now 3-0, and these people here, obviously, a lot to cheer about. Sabi, tama yung desisyon namin na pumunta rito at supportahan yung team namin ba? Para makabawi naman tayo sa talo ng isang araw.
Kahit pa umulan o umaraw, eh, narito kami. And so far, Ceres have rewarded yung kanilang mga loyal fans.
That's a nice run there by Uzoka. Uzoka with a cross. Handled there by the defense, but they have to give up a corner.
That was an important clearance from Kawase.
Well, you like what you're seeing from Ilocos. Even if they're 3-0 down, talagang sabi nila, score at score kami, wala kaming pakialam. Bumiyahe kami rito para lumaro.
Nazal with a shot easily collected by Casas. But Ilocos not playing as other teams would have played in Panaad, which is shut down and park the bus. Trying to compete with Ceres Negros.
Sampana not able to get to it. And they stopped that from being goal number 4. You can see Ali Go saying, paano hindi pumasok yun?
Almost goal number 4. And look at this cross from the right side. Junior Munoz beating the defender, Del Rosario, to the ball. And importante for defenders just to be able to be first on the ball.
Pipito na yung ating referee na si Ariel Montaña. So, babalik ang bola dito sa mga bisita. Pero tatlo pa rin ang kanilang hinahabol as the rain continues to pour here.
And pitch conditions, of course, are not bad per se, but the rains are not helping.
Here's a good shot of our referee, Ariel. Look at the successful passes. That, in a nutshell, just shows you how much Ceres is dominating this match.
More than 3 times as much successful passes as the other team.
Well, I guess familiarity with this pitch has something to do with it.
And I guess the superior squad that you have is also one of the reasons.
That too. But it's 3-0 here and not being gracious hosts.
Well, in the bumper to open the show, you saw what Bacolod has to offer in Asal, Kansi, and of course Panaad Stadium.
On the attack mode once again, pero yun ang bola masyado malakas para kay Rodriguez.
And I wonder how Ilocos could hold on to the possession more, because if you're gonna give possession to Ceres, yan ang mangyari. It's gonna be wave after wave of yellow attacks.
Kita mo talaga ang lakas ng patak ng ulan dito sa Bacolod, then it's really making the pitch really tough to play on. Siguro kung nakakapagsalita lang yung pitch, sinasabi talaga ginagawa ko na lahat para sa inyo, kaso lang talagang basang-basa lang eh. Pero hindi talaga nakikisama ang panahon ngayon. And it really makes it tough for the maintenance crew to be able to try to give us the absolute best pitch they can give. Hindi na naman makakalusot yun. Kamau was able to get to it. Chance for them to move forward. Can they have a counter? They have some numbers. It's not ideal, but nonetheless, they got the ball. And then suddenly they don't. That's a great release. Look at the way they're able to really just hold on to possession. Kahit to sa may likuran.
And passing the ball, we always say don't pass the ball too much in that area where it's dangerous, and if you lose it, yung kalaban ay mabilis ka agad. But with the quality of players that you have, it was almost like flaunting the quality. of your squad.
At kita mo talaga, they're passing in front of the opponent saying, we know we can handle you. Parang ganun, ano?
And come and get it if you want to get it.
Inisip din siguro na Ilocos if we get pulled into this game, we might send too many men forward and then all of a sudden, they come up with a counter of their own.
That is one of the aims ng Ceres. But if Ilocos want to sit deep, that is one way of drawing them out. But Ilocos, to be fair to them, they've tried to play football and not really tried to sit back. It will have its consequences, as evidenced by the scoreline. But maybe if you're gonna lose anyway, you lose fighting. Ito kayong Ultras Ceres na kahit umulan o umaraw, nandyan sila. At nagbibigay suporta sa kanilang koponan. Slipping and sliding still are the players on the field.
Here they come once again. Look at that extreme confidence. Not just willing to build from the back, but at the same time, really just hold on to that ball before they launch an attack like this one. And here they come. Look at that speed up front. The cross though. But Sampana was hoping to try to get to that, pero sabi niya, sige, ilabas mo na lang.
Well, OJ Porteria, you know that if it's a dry pitch, it would have been a different ball into the box.
But I'm still shaking my head with the kind of talent that he showed there. Alam mo, ang bilis pa rin ng kanyang paa, ang bilis pa rin ng kanyang galaw, despite the pitch.
And the acceleration, you saw him speed past the defenders.
And again, Ott doing the chores here. This is where you see a lot of pushing, shoving, tugging at shirts. And that's headed out of danger. Ang problema, nasa kanila na naman yung bola. Talking about Ceres. Ilocos and their men having to come out now to put some pressure. That's good defense. They'll need a lot of those individual plays. Nice look there of Cota. Well, Ryan, just about 5 minutes remaining. There hardly has been any stoppage. So if at all, baka isang minuto idadagdag dito. Nice ball over there to the right side. Nobody from Ceres there. With some time, launches it inside. Unfortunately, not finding a friendly individual. Cahill quickly passes it back. Can they generate some offense? Not anymore. They're gonna get back. Play on, says our referee. Still a chance here for Ilocos to be able to at least score one. Kennedy goes down quite easily.
The referee's not gonna call that.
Nice pass once again. Look at that cross. The defense coming up once again big, saying we can come up with a few stops of our own. But they'll need to score some goals. Because in the scoreline, they're way behind. Patuloy pa rin yung ulan. That's why you just gotta love the fans here in Bacolod. They love their football so much despite the weather. Basta may laban yung aming koponan, nandito kami.
And as a player, that is one thing that you really look forward to on game day. The support of the fans na maasahan mo na pupunta at manonood sa iyong laro. And again, this is one of the advantages ng ating home and away format. Finally, Ceres fans can watch their team live in action almost every other week.
I've gotten so many positive responses from people from all over the archipelago with the Philippines Football League. Obviously, they're very happy that it's here. They're hoping that magpatuloy. And would you say that the players are now starting to get a little bit more adjusted to having to do all that traveling?
Well, one round of this 4-round season has already passed us. And I think one thing that Thomas Dooley said in the pre-tournament show that really struck me, kasamang Anthony, was that Thomas Dooley said, after this year, when the players have had a chance to travel from one stadium to their home stadium to another stadium, they'd come back and realize what they've been missing these past few years.
And it's something that, you know, once it's really ingrained in the Filipino community, in the Filipino psyche, it's something that obviously they'll really fully enjoy. Schrock to the middle. They're gonna send this one out, but nonetheless, pumito na si referee Ariel. Ramsey's not happy. He's gonna consult with one of his assistants, and let's see kung ano yung huling hatol. Stoible there is also trying to get confirmation about ano ba talaga nangyayari rito. On the other side, the visitors and their coaching staff not happy. But it's a set piece coming up. They let that go through. And it's cleared. But again, Ott still. May tangan. Just about a minute remaining. Still no word on how much time will be added. Just about 30 seconds. Tignan natin kung may maisasagot pa ang mga bisita rito sa huling mga segundo. And quite possibly maybe a minute, 2 at the most. And one of the few times not able to really challenge the keeper there.
Well, Ian Ramsey with a chance there. Ilocos United backpedaling.
There's confirmation there. Isang minutong idadagdag.
Well, kahit na tatlo ang kalamangan ng Ceres Negros, they are still relentless in trying to add on to the scoreline.
And we're almost halfway gone into stoppage time. Pero gusto pa ng Ceres maka-score once again. That one just sailing. I was about to say there might have been another chance for another opportunity, pero sabi ng Ilocos, ilayo na lang natin muna to. At sana matapos na ang ating first half. Cahill sends it wide. One final opportunity. This could be the final possession. That's a good ball. Uzoka. Uzoka. I'm sure he would have wanted a more powerful attempt as Casas promptly holds on to that one.
Well, more of the same needed from Ilocos United. More positive attacks, and that I think is a good way for Ilocos United to end. Not necessarily the scoreline, but the way that they ended the first half on a attacking note. I think they need more of that in the second half.
And you know, you can't really say that they'll have some momentum because of that last play, but still, it's still a positive katulad nga ng sinabi mo.
It's something to build on for the visiting team coming to this game. They are the overwhelming underdogs to this match, and so far the scoreline proves it.
Well, after the first 45 minutes of play, ang mga bisita medyo binulabog dito ng mga hosts as it is Ceres Negros 3 and the visiting team from Ilocos 0.
Patas, makatotohanan, mas pinaniniwalaan. Ang bago at pinalakas na PTV News. Araw-araw na komprehensibong balitaan mula umaga hanggang gabi. Masusing kinalap ng buong puwersa ng PTV News Team. Hatid namin sa inyo para sa bayan. Mga paghahandang ginawa ng ating mga atleta, mga kampyon sa mga nakalipas na SEA Games, mga eksperto sa larangan ng esports, lahat ng mga kapanapanabik na aksyon. Road to Kuala Lumpur, a PTV special primer of the 2017 Southeast Asian Games. Dito lang sa PTV.
The ASEAN community is highly integrated, competitive, and innovative. The ASEAN aims to develop a regional economy that supports sustained high economic growth by increasing trade, investment, and job generation. The ability to respond to global trends and international standards enable the region to advance a single market agenda through a more seamless movement of investment, skilled labor, and deeper integration in trade and services. It is a community that promotes productive growth with enhanced micro, small, and medium enterprises that will make the region more competitive and dynamic. The ASEAN community shall have a more enhanced role and voice in addressing international economic issues in the global arena.
December 1959, the first Southeast Asia Peninsular Games kicked off in Bangkok, Thailand, with 527 athletes and officials from 6 countries participating in 12 sports. In 1977, the Philippines, Indonesia, and Brunei Darussalam joined the roster, and the biennial event was renamed the Southeast Asian Games. Watch our very own athletes chase the dream. 13 days to go till the 29th Southeast Asian Games. Catch all the action only here on the home of champions, PTV.
This Sunday, we'll give you more reasons to rock your 2017. Suit up as we explore Bicol's land of pink sand wonders and stunning beaches, Sorsogon. Mag-detox sa steamy hot spring o magbabad sa cold spring under a chilly weather in San Benoit. Flex your muscles and paddle your way to victory in Castilla. Travel is so much better when it's so Sorsogon. Ngayong darating na linggo, alas 7 ng gabi sa iTravel Pinas.
It's halftime here at Panad. Ceres Negros lamang 3-0 laban sa Ilocos United, and that's a fair scoreline if you really look at it.
Well, you look at the number of possession of the ball in the first half, and you'd think that Ceres would have been at least 3 goals to the good. At ito nga, Shraki, Christians, and Rodriguez providing those 3 goals.
We got some of the highlights here. This is the goal of Shrak.
And this was a pass from Shraki, which sets up Jeffrey Christians for the second goal. Such a lovely pass there.
And here nakita natin totally unmarked si Rodriguez, and he makes the defense pay.
Well, the defense falling asleep, and Rodriguez, as you said, makes them pay. And one thing here that is of note and importance, 69% ball possession, which means that only 31% for Ilocos United. Number of passes, 258. That is the number of connected passes as opposed to 92 for Ilocos United. Almost 3 times the number of successful passes for the home team, that is Ceres Negros. And coming into this game, you know, Panad Stadium will be the home ground for Ceres and a daunting area for Ilocos United. So far, Ceres Negros, 3 goals to the good.
This Sunday, we'll give you more reasons to rock your 2017. Suit up as we explore Bicol's land of pink sand wonders and stunning beaches, Sorsogon. Mag-detox sa steamy hot spring o magbabad sa cold spring under a chilly weather in San Benoit. Flex your muscles and paddle your way to victory in Castilla. Travel is so much better when it's so Sorsogon. Ngayong darating na linggo, alas 7 ng gabi sa iTravel Pinas.
Ilocos United on your screens wearing orange. They are facing an uphill battle against these men, the busmen from Ceres. And the battle cry for Ilocos before this game was stop the bus. So far, the Ceres bus has been rolling on in Panaad.
And at this point, there's no point in parking the bus. Para naman dun sa Ilocos, kaya talagang lumabas na sila, lumarga na sila at subukan nila kung ano makukuha nila doon sa kanilang opensa.
Well, Ceres is in a unique position that when other teams come in and park the bus, they can say, well, we own the bus.
Yeah, that's right. And, a lot of times we've also seen that previously in a lot of their encounters, teams have actually tried to park the bus and still it wasn't successful. They still end up getting no points at all.
Well, all is not lost for Graham Cahill, Ben Tolete, Nico Nazal, and the rest of the Ilocos United team. They still have 45 minutes to make amends. Of course, they're playing in a wet Saturday afternoon in Bacolod, kung saan the grip on the field is not the best at times. But still, it has not stopped Ceres from having a 3-goal lead.
And there's Cahill. Sabi niya, let's get it on. Nakapag-usap na kami. And hopefully we'll come up with a little bit more offense here. Pero suddenly, high pressure being shown early on by Rodriguez and company.
Well, for Ceres, the game plan now in the second half is simple. You just have to press on for more goals.
This is similar to what they had to end the first half. Possession, they were able to move forward.
Well, that is very positive from Ilocos United. Dominic Del Rosario, the left back, para sa kanila, helping them on the overlap. So if you are a defensive-minded team, you'd not see your defenders moving up and helping the attack. So it's a positive sign, definitely, for Ilocos. And again, all credit to Ilocos, not really parking the bus, coming out to play even 3 goals down.
Tama, sabi mo, at least right now we're still having a free flow to the ball game. And that's good for the purists. They like to see that.
Not necessarily good for those wanting to have damage limitation, kagaya ng ibang teams when they go and come here in Panaad.
Easily headed there by Kamau. Nice stop. Can Kennedy and company come up with something here? Well, they tried. Kita mo si Shrock. Automatically, lumapit dun. At nag-apologize. Things are good for the busmen. The chip, a little bit too high. But look at this. A lot of positive possessions to start things out para dito sa mga bisita.
Well, we saw Ilocos United end the first half with a good attack. Did not result in a goal, but we said at that point that it may be something to build on para sa mga visitors in the persons of Ilocos. And so far, in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half, they have been showing positive signs in their attack.
I think this is a good idea right now para sa Busmen to be able to hold on to that ball first, not necessarily come up with the attack, and maybe try to get some of that momentum back on their side.
We saw the stats, 69% possession for Ceres Negros. They want to see more of the same in the second half.
Ito na, trying to be able to build on something and take away a lot of those time of possession para sa kanilang mga kalaban. Can they get to it? Talking about Ilocos. Okay, Hill tried. Again on the attack. Nice change of play. Slight shove. That's a little bit of a, you can't say a really dangerous spot, but ito na naman sila. Quickly taking it.
Once again, flaunting their mastery and technique with possession of the ball.
That shot, they're able to get just a foot on that to really get out away from Baba Sampana.
Fernando Rodriguez with the chance.
Sampana says, I want to have a clean sheet here in the second half. Watch it here once again, Ryan.
Moving to his left foot and took a deflection. Making things very casual.
Sampana with a slight punch, able to get it out of that box. Patuloy pa rin yung malakas na ambon dito sa Panaad. And that just might be trouble. Wow.
Casas keen to make amends. Chasing down that ball, I think a bit unnecessarily. But that...
I'm quite surprised he had to go all the way out there.
Well, he could have...
Pabayaan mo na ibigay yung makuha na yung bola.
Exactly, and Michael Casas doing just enough to save that clean sheet para sa Ceres Negros. And nadulas yung bola, and that, my friends, is evidence of the pitch that we're playing in.
That's an excellent recovery. All things considered. Casas finally having a chance to hold on to that ball. Sabi niya, pwede ko ba muna hawakan to hanggang bukas.
And one thing that struck me in that last piece of action, yung sinabi ni Stefan Schrack when he came on last year and he saw Michael Casas play, and sabi niya, you know what, Michael Casas, his reflexes is like a cat. And nakita mo kanina how he moved to get to the ball. Cat-like, if you must.
And he was part of their, he was an integral part of their campaign when they won a few titles. No, hindi pa nga nakalaro si Moller, and actually even before they were able to get him onto the squad.
Sigurado yun. And of course, a lot of people clamoring for him to be included in the ASCAL setup. But that was almost a goal para sa Ilocos United. And it's those little things importante for Ilocos not to give up the fight just yet.
Not the best of balls. And they take advantage though. Talking about itong Ilocos United. 7 minutes gone here in the second half. That's definitely a ball too strong.
You're not too sure what that ball is for.
Not exactly to say that would have been disastrous if that goal eventually did go in. Of course, clean sheet ang habol siyempre sana nitong si Casas, but right now they seem to be in total control of this match anyhow, itong Ceres Negros. And looking for more now. Nice overlap. Ball still in at wing. Well, sabi ni Ilocos, we're also not averse to being able to hold on to that ball in the back. May confidence din kami. Of course, sometimes you might be playing with fire.
And with a team as talented as Ceres Negros, mistake could lead most likely to a goal.
Flag stays down, but not able to control that. Balik sila kay Casas. Casas, good control.
With that earlier mistake, I think Casas now extra careful with his footing.
But again, not to say they haven't really been careful. Even we saw kanina Baba Sampana with the way he'd be walking onto the pitch. You know, talaga hindi niya dinidin yung kanyang tapak o yung kanyang pagtapak.
The Ceres Negros with a 3-goal lead, and you see just happy to keep possession, and the Ilocos not pressuring.
There again, you see on that pass. Danger! The Banda has always been around that ball. The Banda, not a happy man. And there's a little bit of an altercation. I'm wondering where our referee is. He looked like he was in a different time zone.
Well, Ian Ramsey was saying that he was going for the ball. Sabi ni Banda, he saw studs.
Well, he had a point. Sabi naman ni Ramsey, medyo nahuli lang naman ako eh. And again, you know, it's really not for us to judge. It's actually not for the players to judge, but for the referee to be on top of the situation. But there was an altercation, there was a little pushing and shoving, and still we didn't see the referee
make an appearance. Well, maybe he was far away from the action.
Pero nakita mo, nakatayo na nga si Ibanda. Natulak na niya si Ramsey. Bumawi pa si Ramsey ng 2 beses. But look at the rain. Continues to pour here.
Is that a yellow card for you, though? Studs up?
It should. Again,
Ibanda?
Again, the problem is, obviously, the referee was so far away from the play that he wasn't even able to go there to stop the altercation. Here come the busmen. Trying to make the visitors pay. Trying to make the visitors have a miserable time here in Bacolod. Once again, just trying to pick their spots. And the Banda says enough.
Flags of Ceres are flying high in Panaad. One thing that is not mentioned highly enough is the fact that now teams play in their home field and they are in pole position to take full advantage of, as you said, the crazy bounces, the nooks and crannies of the field. If you play there week in, week out, and probably even during your training days, kabisado mo ang bawat lubak, ang bawat indentation ng field na yan, and you use that to full advantage.
Well, I remember talking to Ali Borromeo about a few weeks ago when we were over at the UMAC pitch, and he was telling me, alam mo, sa may gitna ng pitch, sabi niya mabagal ang bola. Pero dun sa may labas, sabi niya mas mabilis. And so again, those are the nuances that you are able to see and experience on a regular basis kasi doon ka nga nag-iensayo.
And my point with that statement is that Panaad on a wet field, I think Ceres will have experienced this playing conditions not fairly often.
Well, definitely more than their opponents.
So they are in pole position to take advantage of these conditions in Panaad.
And would you say that scoreline actually shows it?
Well, definitely 3-0 is a big lead for Ceres Negros, and napansin din natin, after getting the 3 goals and coming into the second half, you see Ceres Negros just take the foot off the gas just a little bit and allow Ilocos to come at them. Not to say they've had more possession, but Ceres Negros, you can say parang third gear.
Here comes Ilocos. You can see that time of possession has really not changed. It's been 70-30 essentially all throughout.
And I'd like to add as well that it's also about managing your team. And with these playing conditions na medyo madulas, and nakita nga natin na may a few errors now and there, importante rin for them to prevent any injuries, which may result pag nadulas ka, natapilok ka. That's why probably they're taking it a bit easy, talking of Ceres Negros.
On the other side, when could we see, well, right now there is going to be the answer to my question, kailan natin makikita na may magpapalit itong mga bisita dahil syempre they need to be able to try to change things up a little bit if they can. Shrock's going to get to this one. We've seen that so many times already here in this match. It seems like yung bola pupunta na sa kabilang panig. Now they're able to push it forward. And we briefly talked about that, Ryan, in the first half na makikita natin na, you know, we might just be seeing some tired legs come the second half, especially for the visitors dahil medyo mahaba-haba yung kanilang biyahe.
But take note, they only have 3 subs in their bench, and one of them is the goalkeeper, and 2 outfield players. So far, Ceres happy with Ilocos having the ball. Again, 3-0 plays a big part in that decision.
That's a late challenge. Quickly, OJ apologizes, but right now you can see nobody here from Ilocos wants to even shake the hands of their opponents.
Nico Nazal making his 5th straight start. He's being subbed off.
Casas with a punch. Again, safety first ang hinahabol ngayon ni Casas and company. They've got the entire 3 points locked up here. As long as they don't try to get too cute. They played solid loose all throughout. And again, Casas getting into that one. Challenge doesn't work. That was a good pass. Again, they're having their chances.
Ilocos having more of the possession in the last minutes of this game. And the result was a shot. And I think Ilocos will do well to try and have more of the possession, kasi if you have the ball, you can create chances, and if you can create chances, you might be able to score some goals.
At this particular point, Ryan, as you can see, about 15 minutes na nakakaraan dito sa ating second half, ano kaya yung grado na maibibigay mo sa Ceres?
Well, Ceres definitely have taken their foot off the gas in the second half. I think, as you said, probably managing the field, managing the squad. But they have to be wary. Again, yung sinasabi nating overconfidence. But they are still 3-0 to the good. So, I mean, all things considered, they're well within their rights.
That's right.
To try and take it easy for a little bit.
At this particular stage, I guess, like what you're saying, talagang 3-0 scoreline is quite comfortable ngayon. Pag bigla naka-score yung kanilang kalaban at 3-1, ibang kwento na yun. So maybe you put it into second gear. But again, right now, parang naka-cruise control lang itong Ceres.
Tama yun.
They got an opportunity here. That's a deflected shot. Uzoka able to control. And they move past that half line though. Finally they can once again. And then eventually they'll lose possession. Schrock in no hurry. Sends it back. Christians. Looked like he was looking for the long ball and eventually try to make that short pass.
Well, it's too early in the season to think of a goal difference. Important thing is 3 points for Ceres Negros. But if looking in the long term, you're looking at the calendar, Ceres Negros versus Ilocos United in Panaad may be one of the games you look at if you want to have more goals, and no disrespect to Ilocos United.
Well, I totally agree with you, but then in this respect, looking at the pitch, looking at the conditions, you know, they just might be going home very happy, smiling from ear to ear with a 3-0 advantage.
Speaking of 3-0, Jason De Jong wearing 30, number 30 is coming on for Jeffrey Christians.
On cue.
Saktong-sakto. He will be taking on the midfield role. Si Stoible moving to left back.
Supple change here. Let's see if it actually works out positively. Nice interplay.
Ilocos do have a lot of men in the box to defend, which means they don't have too many men forward. Kanya mabilis na wala ang bola. And a man down for Ilocos.
And they might have to send this one out. And eventually, na-realize nila na hindi na dumidepensa itong Ilocos at sabi nila, okay, there's a man down. Looks like Tolete, it is. Well, I'm sure these fans would want to see another goal though. They're happy knowing that their team is poised to come up with a victory here, but sabi na, baon nyo naman. Diba, syempre ganun yung mga fans, eh. Diba, yung mga local fans talagang, they want to just kill the opponent. Talaga ibaon mo na 6 feet under.
That is very harsh. And very brutal from my partner here, Anthony Suntay.
Hindi, diba? Okay, so, you know, when you go to the, especially to the provincial areas, and then nakikita mo pa itong Bacolod, these fans from Bacolod take so much pride in their football. They're like, you don't come to our house and you don't leave without a beating. Looking to try to have another one. Nice header. The Banda has done his job. Just too much firepower in front of him.
Well, has been solid in the second half. Has kept a clean sheet in the 21 minutes in the second half. Ang problema lang ay they conceded 3 goals in the first. Ilocos with a corner. One of the very, very few chances they have.
Well, ito na yung sinasabi mo, the very final substitution, unless you want to give your keeper some time. But obviously, Sampana is a rock in that position.
Si Ben Tolete, I think, will stay on for this set piece before he gets subbed off. Let's see if he can make a final contribution.
Ito pa, baka may pagkakataon. Will they go back to Casas? They think otherwise. Not the best of clearances, but Kennedy not able to do too much with it. Took a weird bounce off that pitch. Nice run. Here they come once again. Look at that speed.
And that is speed with the ball.
Opportunity here. And the flag stays down. It is 4-0.
Just as we were loading the defensive efforts ng Ilocos, Ceres Negros, kahit na sila ay nasa cruise control, still able to conjure a fourth goal. Look at the frustration from John Kanayama, the captain of Ilocos. But this one was neat and tidy for OJ Porteria.
And did you hear the fans? Ngayon naniniwala ka na sa akin, gusto nila ibaon. Kung po pwedeng hindi lang 6 feet under, kung 10 feet under, po pwede pa. Gagawin nila.
Well, so far, nakabaon na ang Ilocos United. 4-0 under. It may not be 6 feet yet, but it's 4-0 to the good. Itong Ceres Negros.
It's getting there. Now, well, we're just trying to make light of the situation. But obviously, itong Ilocos wants to be able to come up with a better showing, but the odds have just been stacked against them here.
Well, the quality really of Ceres Negros, even in second gear, even in third gear, is really more than a match for the visitors. And I think in some ways, it's also good for Ilocos United to be able to see firsthand exactly what the competition is, what the best team they say in the Philippines is, and what one of the better teams in Southeast Asia looks like, because that's a benchmark that you're aiming for. Kumbaga sa benchmark ganun pala ang kailangan nating level para makakompete tayo to be able to win a championship.
Nice stop there from Sampana. Not just with a stop, but he was able to control it, because if he didn't, nandun na naman lurking around the area itong si Porteria. Under 20 minutes remaining dito sa ating laro. It's a one-ball game para sa Ceres Negros. As they're trying to get in, itong si Reyes, there has really been no chance for him to get onto that pitch. He's been waiting for at least 3 minutes. Ito na. Finally, mapagbibigyan siya ng pagkakataon na makapaglaro.
Well, it's Robert Reyes coming on. Kanina si Ben Tolete ang kanyang papalitan. And I think they changed their minds. It's now Kennedy Uzoka who is coming on.
We were able to cover Kennedy more than a couple of times in the recent year and a half. And very promising player.
Well, now in Ilocos United, he's been given all the playing time in the world. Of course, that is what developing players need. Yung pagkakataong maglaro.
Here comes another wave of attack. And they're in trouble. The moment that the defender missed that, you knew it was done.
And OJ Porteria will make no mistake from that area. That is why it is important for defenses to keep their concentration. Single mistake.
Ayan, hindi mo na sila naririnig, Ryan, pero ngayon nakikita mo pa sila. Watch it here once again. The defender trying to head that away. And it falls into the lap of OJ.
Into the waiting arms and legs of Porteria. He will not make any mistake. You have to give credit as well to the pass from the right side. Ang bilis talaga ng takbo na yun from Ian Ramsey, and almost a blur. And they always say that's why it's important to put the ball in the box, because that's where you create chances. And alam mo, ang sinasabi ng ilang mga coaches, which I totally agree, was that you just put in the box, the ball in the box, and you need only one time to be lucky to score. Samantalang ang depensa needs to always be lucky to keep out that ball.
Tama yun. And right now, OJ Porteria has been 2 for 2. At least here in the second half.
Well, OJ Porteria has 2 goals and an assist dun sa first goal ng Ceres to Stefan Schrock. So if you're looking for candidates for man of the match, he should be one of them.
Oh, definitely. Together with Schrock. Schrock also with a goal and an assist. And looking for more. And now temper starting to flare. Well, it'll be nice to see that again. They're looking at Ibanda as the culprit here. And at least 3 players.
And the Ceres players are livid.
Tama. At least 3 players from Ceres claim they saw it. Let's watch it here.
Boy.
What excuse can you have for that? Well, I think a card will eventually be issued here. You just have to get confirmation.
There is absolutely no excuse there, kasamang Anthony. That, I'm choosing my words correctly now, that is not one thing you do.
At sinasabi nga nila, ito yung mga instances wherein the referee has got to make sure he knows what to do. He tells everybody, I'm in control, because situations like this can really get ugly.
Alam mo, you understand the frustration from Willie Abanda. Defending well in the second half, suddenly you let in 2 goals from that man there, na si OJ Porteria.
That's great control! Boy, that would have been part of the highlight reel, not just for this season, but for years to come, if he was able to complete that one from Ramsey.
Well, Ian Ramsey, no love lost between him and Willie Abanda as well. That is good skill from the Phil-Australian. Control the ball and just flicking it overhead. He was not really totally aware where the goal was. His back was to the goal. But kung pumasok yun, I would dare say, nandun na yun, top 3 goal of the season.
But you can see the awareness that he had. Alam niya talaga wala na talaga siyang oras para makaikot. So ang ginawa niya, sabi niya, bago pa dumating yung depensa, makakatempa ko. And again, another ball to the wings. But this time, our officials are going to say he's offside. And Stoible doesn't like it.
Well, going back to the Willie Abanda situation, alam mo, Sama Anthony, the video tells no lies. And the referee, if he had not seen it, Well, he'll go home today and he will have a look at this game and he will see a very, very clear stamp on the foot of OJ Porteria. There's such a thing as a video assistant replay now, VAR, and I'm sure if there was a VAR, it would have been a card shown definitely to Willie Abanda.
And sometimes pwede mo pa nga, you have an argument there wherein you might even have your choice of colors para sa card, because that one, you know, that's really unsportsmanlike.
And not only that, it was malicious. It was with intent.
Not to mention blatant.
Blatant is my next adjective.
But it was so blatant that it escaped the attention of the referee.
I mean, it was blatant because, I mean, the referee thought it was not gonna happen because it was in plain view of everybody, at least on the field. But in any case, I think the perfect answer there is the 5 goals in the scoreline.
Stoible not able to come up with a good cross here. Just about 10 minutes remaining. 11 minutes if you want to be exact.
And I like the move of Coach Vidakovic of Ceres. He changed out Ian Ramsey and put in Arnie Pasinabo, number 1. Ian Ramsey, well, I think he was hot under the collar. Number 2, nothing else to prove in this game. 5 dealt to the good, and you preserve him for future games.
Oh, that's sure. At the same time, you give somebody like Pasinabo, who has actually a lot of talent, but just more talent in front of him.
So down in the pecking order, kumbaga.
Tama.
Arnie Pasinabo.
Well, we've seen him more than once, and this is a kid, a player that's got quality.
The rain is still coming down dito sa Panaad.
Well, all things considered, if things remain the way they are, that 5-0 scoreline is still a decent showing here para sa mga bisita. But looking to try to come up with more. They want to be able to score a goal. They want to be able to go home knowing they found the back of the net. Not that time.
Well, kasama nga Anthony, it's very difficult to say that 5-0 is a decent showing. But I mean, with the amount of possession that Ceres has in this game, and you knew coming in the disparity in quality, and you add to the mix yung suspensions and player availabilities ng Ilocos United, and you really know that Ilocos are in an uphill battle coming in to Panaad.
And we talked about that right from the get-go. But again, you applaud the effort of the visitors after that grueling travel here. At lumalaban pa rin sila. Ang problema naman, ito rin, ang Ceres lumalaban pa rin till the very end. Nice stop there from Sampana. Clock continues to tick here, just about 8 minutes remaining.
Ceres coming into the game in 5th place with 13 points. They will move up to 4th place with 16 points to their name, and +5 so far from this game will add to a very healthy goal difference.
Here comes Rodriguez, looking for more. Misses just left.
Nakakaloko yung kanyang move na yon, Rodriguez. You thought with the movement of his feet, he was going to curl it far corner, but he targeted the near post. And one thing here, kasama Anthony, a very, very, very welcome sight for Ceres fans. But more on that later, but Here's the play. Rodriguez, with his motion, you thought he was curling to the far post. At naloko ng konti yung depensa, but Sampana aware of where the ball was going to.
Sampana came out. Hindi na umabot sa kanya yung bola. And it finds the back of the net once again, and it's super.
You did mention that you wanted 6 goals. The fans wanted 6 goals, and so far the fans have 6 goals. But let's talk more about this man here, Patrick Reichelt. Patrick Reichelt, a lengthy spell in the sidelines, finally making an appearance in the league for Ceres. And we hope that tuloy-tuloy na itong recovery ni Patrick Reichelt at tuloy-tuloy na ang kanyang magandang ilalaro, because Ascals and Ceres need him, and what a welcome gift as well.
Wala pa ata siyang 2 minuto.
Patrick Reichelt with possibly his fastest ever goal after coming on to the field. Less than 20 seconds, I think.
Well, still trying to be aggressive here are the visitors, pero ngayon si Casas quickly just sends that back into play. Well, they're going to be very happy with the score line here. That's going to definitely add to their score differential.
Again, very early days to talk of goal differential. But Ceres coming into the game have a +8. Now they have a +14, which is now the best in the league.
You know, you talk to coaches, a lot of times they say, you know, you want to be able to win early so that necessarily you may not have to win late. And at the same time, katulad din itong goal differential, you know, if you can get it early, and when it gets down to the meat and potatoes part of the season, eh baka naman hindi ka na pagbigyan ng mga ibang teams. And here they come with another one. No!
Rodriguez would like to take that one back.
For sure.
That was the 7th goal of Ceres, written all over it. But how can he miss?
And Shirok says, come on, that was another assist. I want to be man of the match.
And the defense of Ilocos just either A, falling asleep, or B, giving up.
I think more than falling asleep, it's really just tired legs also, Ryan.
That was not my number C, letter C. Tired legs. But either ways, not the best indications.
Chance here.
Okay.
Boys, sabi ni Cahill, I had a chance a while ago.
Well, you've got a lot of the efforts of Cahill. Almost 6-0 down. Tuloy pa rin ang kanyang laban. It is still a lonely fight up top for Graham Cahill.
Nice ball to the wings. Stoible with a cross.
You don't underestimate the factor of travel. Traveling from one venue to another, traveling from one city to another, and sleeping essentially in a different bed to play a football match the next day. And in many ways, itong home and away format, you said that maybe some teams have adjusted, and I will say that maybe yes, but maybe no. Because again, you can never be too adjusted to a circumstance like that, especially if you've been playing in the same venue for the last 5 years.
Having said that, looking at the scenario, that of course is obviously unique dito para sa Ilocos because they have to do a lot of the land travel. Do you think it will be better for them to be able to come in a day earlier than they normally would come? Para at least, kasi alam mo talaga nakakapagod ang biyahe. Walang question dun. Now, you do a long road travel and then lilipad ka pa to go all the way here to Bacolod, which is about a 2.5 hour flight from Manila. So if you come in at least a day before that, you have one extra day to recover.
Again, maraming factors to consider, kasama ng Anthony, but I would suppose that they came in, I think, on a Thursday. So playing on a Saturday, it should be enough recovery time. But more than the travel, I think it's the wear and tear, the unfamiliarity with the field, unfamiliarity with the surroundings. And you just don't sleep normally and naturally as you would have if you're playing at home.
Tama yun. Well, again, you know, from that point of yours, even if they do come in on a Wednesday, pero yung tinutulugan mo nga, hindi pa rin yung sarili mong kama, that's going to be difficult. But at the same time, the only point I was trying to make is, if you come in a day earlier, then if you come in Wednesday, recover ka ng Thursday, and sayo ka ng konti ng Friday in preparation for Saturday. But again, pag finactorin mo nga yung sariling kama, that means you're going to be sleeping in a different bed another day, an extra day pa. So again, sabi nga nila, to each his own.
And you also add in the factors of costs as well, and training fields that will be available to you at home, which may not be available to you away from home. So napakarami. You have to balance these things out, and in the end, you have to make do with what you have. But on the other side, talk about Ilocos United and having to travel far away to reach Bacolod. Ceres have to travel a lot of kilometers to reach Ilocos as well.
Offside yung tatawag dito. 1 minuto ang natitira, and we're getting a report that 2 minutes will be added on.
Well, the result was settled quite some time ago when OJ Porteria scored the second of his 2 goals to make it 5-0. And the Ceres stuck in 3rd gear is more than a match for an undermanned Ilocos United.
Ebande has been game all throughout, but really nothing too much. He and one of the best keepers that we have here in the league in Baba Sampana could do against the tremendous firepower nitong Ceres.
So definitely the lineup of Ceres top to bottom, kahit pagbabalik-balik tali mo pa, really loaded with talent. And again, if you put Ceres as a benchmark, if you're Ilocos United, you know how far you have to go to reach the summit of Philippine football.
You're looking for more here. Kamau able to get to it. Obviously, itong Ilocos doesn't want to yield any more goals. Tama na yung 3 per half. Nice chip, and the pass back was a little bit offline. And si Schrock couldn't believe it. And look at his effort. Talagang tumatakbo pa. Naghahabol pa ng isa. As we look at about just a minute remaining here in this match. So far, looking at the entire season, who would you say would be the most impressive? Because, you know, there were a couple of seasons in the other tournaments. And now we got another score here. It is now 7-0.
One of the bigger score lines that we've seen so far in the league. And I think it's fair to say that Ceres are enjoying their time on the field. Pasinabo with a good cross from the right side. It's fair to say also Patrick Reichelt's favorite team to play against is Ilocos United.
That's right, coming on as a late replacement. Quickly gets 2 goals. Well, back to my question. Obviously, nakikita natin, you know, in previous seasons, in other leagues, nakikita mo, you know, after one round, you can see one team already totally dominating the league. But here, so far, nakita natin, it's still just about anybody's team, any team, really, to win this league.
Well, Meralco lead the standings, JPV in second place, but it's very tight. The top 5 teams, it's tight at the top. But for Ilocos United, you know, it will be an uphill climb as they look for still their first victory.
That's a resounding victory here for the hosts.
Coming into this match, you knew that Ilocos United, the big underdogs, and Ceres, the overwhelming favorites. And I think the final score shows that it is every bit as correct as we've said.
Talk about not being gracious hosts.
Talk about ibabaon mo. Talagang binaon ng Ceres ang visiting Ilocos United.
As we see some of the highlights here.
Early on, it was Ceres with most of the possession. And Stefan Schrack opened the scoring in the 11th minute, with Christians following suit in the 24th minute. Rodriguez in the 30th minute, before OJ Porteria scored 2 goals, and before Patrick Reichelt added 2 more. Napakarami, no?
Nakikita natin at hindi talaga gumalaw yung numero na yun. Talking about the ball possession, still at 70-30 after full time, and obviously you're not surprised that the stats really one-way traffic.
One thing stood out for me here, 633 passes made by Ceres Negros. Compare that to Ilocos' 262. That is almost 2 times the number, more than 2 times the number of passes. And that, in a nutshell, is the summary of the game. The goals were icing on the cake.
At yan, papakita natin sa inyo yung mga goals dito sa ating laro. The third one here from Rodriguez.
That is just before OJ Porteria scores 2, but not before Michael Casas almost leaks 1. Talking point in this game, was that a card? Hindi tinawagan. And OJ Porteria will add the first and the second to make it 5-0 at this point.
So he has a brace. And then suddenly, this gentleman comes up with that goal that does a brace para sa kanya.
Patrick Reichelt coming off from injury, adding 2 goals to his name. A welcome return for Ceres, a welcome return for him.
That's our full-time score. Ceres Negros FC 7, Ilocos United FC 0. And that does it here for our coverage. In behalf of my partner, Ryan Phoenix, ito po si Anthony Slay saying, thanks for joining us, everybody. Till next time, take care. Have a great night ahead. God bless.